Hi, I'm
Hi,
Dr. Ajita Goswami. So
hi,
I'm
doctor.
faculty coordinator for Cognizance. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, we will start the session in 2-3 minutes.
Sure, that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
So you were in IIT Roorkee till 1996, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. So which department you were at the time?
Uh, Industrial Engineering Department.
Industrial engineering. Right. And which hostel you stayed?
I believe all the hostels, like except Sarojini.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because now many new hostels came up. So at the time there were very limited number of hostels. Jawahar, Ravindra, Govind.
Yeah. So Ravindra, fourth year, third year, Govind, then was with Kotley, and first year, it is Rajendra Bhavan. So
Rajendra Bhavan. Yeah. So have you visited Roorkee after that? Recently you have visited Roorkee?
not recently, but yeah, like every year I used to come for campus selection for lot many years.
Okay.
In in recent years, I have not visited Roorkee.
Okay. We really wanted you people to be here, especially you, but due to this COVID-related restrictions, now this Cognizance is in online mode. So maybe if we get permission for hybrid mode, so we would like to have you here in the campus, if you can spare some time.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, we had to cancel our 25th anniversary celebration in November.
Okay. Yeah.
Entire batch was so excited, but finally we decided to call it off.
I can understand, but still, I think now situation is much better. So,
Yeah,
yeah, you can replan. So you are staying in Mumbai, I guess.
yeah, I'm staying in Mumbai.
Okay.
Okay, sir, so we will start the session.
Yeah. Anshika, before starting, are we recording the session also?
Yes, sir, we are recording it.
I think you have informed sir previously that we'll be recording the session, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
fine.
sir.
It's okay with me.
Okay, okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So, good morning to one and all present here. I, Anshika Gupta, Manager of Events, Cognizance IIT Roorkee, welcome you all on the behalf of whole Cognizance team to our second guest lecture of this year's guest lecture series. It is our privilege to have Mr. Harjeet Khanduja, sir, as a guest of honor for today's event. Welcome, sir. Now, I request Professor Ajanta Goswami, the Associate Professor in the Earth Sciences Department and Faculty Coordinator of Cognizance, to welcome Sir and tell us about him. Sir,
Yeah. Thank you so much. So I guess this screen is visible.
Yeah, it
yes,
is.
sir.
Yeah. So welcome to the second guest lecture in our guest lecture series for Cognizance 2022. I extend a warm welcome to the guest speaker for today's lecture, Mr. Harjeet Khanduja. So he graduated from IIT Roorkee in 1996, and since then he has made remarkable feats and entrepreneurial achievements. He is the Vice President HR at Reliance Jio and has held positions at Tata Motors, Nicholas Piramal, Reliance Retail, and Antolio. He is a SAP HCM consultant, Six Sigma grid belt, and accessor for predictive index. He has published patents also, 3 patents. And his book, Nothing About Business, has been a bestseller on Amazon, as you can see from this particular presentation I got from the Amazon site. He contributes to several magazines, including People's Matters, Business Manager, Sites in Plus, Education Post, Human Factor, IT Next, and People and Management. He has also contributed to a book named Touched by Parkinson's and got featured in Heroes Amongst Us, an inspirational book by Dr. Amit Nagpal, depicting real-life stories of ordinary people who achieved extraordinary success. Known for his TEDx talks and lectures at IIMs and IITs, he often steps ahead to inspire the youth, and that's the same thing we're expecting today also. And he has been conferred with many awards like Thomson Medal by IIT Roorkee, HR Leadership Award, Pride of Nation Award, HR Personality of the Year, Global Digital Ambassador, Global Learning Award, ETHR Influencer of 2022, and Top 200 Global Leadership Voices of 2020. So he is a very decorated person in his field. Harjeet has been a LinkedIn Power Profiler. So I think all our students and attendees know that what is a LinkedIn Power Profiler. So it's a showcase of the most viewed professionals on LinkedIn. He is a TEDx speaker, so you can go to TEDx site and you can listen to his different talks also, very interesting talks. I have gone through a few. He's a guest faculty at IIM Ahmedabad. He's a board member of Federation of World Academics. He is member of CII HR IR Committee, co-chair of NASCOM Diversity Committee. So I got this one from his website. He wrote one book
Yes,
also,
sir.
Kirail. Yeah.
Just a second, sorry for interrupting. Harjeet sir, are you in the meeting? I guess he's having some network issues.
Okay. So I think we should wait for him. Let him join.
Yes.
So let me know whenever he joins, okay?
Okay, sir is here.
Yeah. Harjeet sir, you are here? Yeah, so I was telling about Harjeet sir. So he is well decorated with so many awards. The list is already here and I have already told you. So he has been a LinkedIn Power Profiler and all this I have already told. He has also written one book that I got from his website, Tuk Tuk Ki Rail. So I would love to read this book, in fact. I'm sure there are countless things you all can learn from a man as determined, dynamic, and driven as him. And your journey is nothing short of inspirational, Mr. Harjeet Khanduja, and we are genuinely delighted to have you with us today. So for all our students, and since we are recording this particular session, so whoever will be attending or listening to this particular talk, you can go to this particular website, www.harjeetkhanduja.com, and you can know more about him. Because I have gone to this site and I was just amazed that you have been into TV, you have done so many Hasya Kavi Sammelan and what not. So yeah, it's really inspirational and we would love to listen to you, sir. And thanks for accepting our invitation. And all these things actually are students from the Cognizance team. They have actually done some research on you and they were so fascinated that they have prepared everything so that we can showcase it. So the stage is yours and thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Professor, and thank you all. So I have also tried to do justice. I have not slept for 3 nights and I have prepared a presentation for you.
Okay.
And in fact, I finished this presentation just a while ago. Guys, you are able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
So before we start, please give me a huge round of applause.
Yeah.
You can actually do it. Wow. Yeah, this is the digital applause. That is what I was talking about. So keep interacting with me in this manner. This gives me a lot of motivation. And look, why I asked for applause in the beginning. because afterwards there is no guarantee. So before we move forward, I will tell you how I reached here. At 11 o'clock in the night, I got a call, and I was about to sleep. I picked up the call, and the person from the other side said, "कौन बोल रहा है?" I was like, me being me, I said, "मैं बोल रहा हूँ. I am speaking." And you know what the person from the other side said? कमाल है, इधर से भी मैं ही बोल रही हूँ. And you would have understood who was that. In fact, I understood this is somebody from IIT Roorkee only. No one else does this kind of thing. And then she tells me, we have kept a program. It is Cognizance. You come over. And it is at 11:30. I said, "Ma'am, it is half an hour." She said, no, not today. It is on a future date. I said, fine. Can you tell me what the topic is? So this is the topic she told me. 5G and something. I said, can you give me a little bit more brief about it? That how, what is that you want me to speak on? You can see the topic, how India can embrace 5G to improve growth and productivity. There are so many words. And actually, it was a 3-line topic which she gave me. Then I requested her, ma'am, little bit more brief about what is that you want to do. Then she sent me 15 pages of literature on 5G. That if you don't know what 5G is, then read this and then make the presentation. Then I again called her and I requested her, ma'am, can you tell me in one word or 2 words that what is that you expect from this lecture? So this is what she told me. Pakana mat. So I will make sure that whatever I do, I will not pakawfy you. Before we move forward, this presentation has movie references because I am a movie buff. Although no parental guidance is required, but whatever I talk about here, make sure that you try that at your own risk. Whatever images I have used, they are for educational purposes and copyright is with the owner. Look, at the end of this presentation, if each one of you is able to pick up at least one thing from the presentation, then whatever hour we are spending together, that will be sorted. Means we have spent 1 hour for good purpose. And I don't talk about big things. I talk about small things. So you will have to tell me who changed the word. You remember Scrat? Ice Age. This was the guy who actually, because of this nut, this guy actually divided the word into different continents. The same way, do you know who changed the word? Anyone? Actually, I love interacting. So, oh, you don't know who changed the word. Actually, this guy changed the word. You know this guy? Okay, you don't know this guy. This guy is called mobile phone. It is in the hands of the person. So, you know the power of the mobile phone which is in your hand. Uh, it is 1 lakh times more powerful than the computer which landed Apollo on moon. That is the power you are carrying in your hand as of now in terms of this mobile phone. This mobile phone has a lot of impact the uh, on the way we live, the way we interact with other people. and how we behave actually with people. You know what is this? This was the first mobile phone which was created uh, in 1883, the first usable mobile phone. And that time, the president, US president was Rutherford. He looked at this instrument and he said, "It is a good invention, but I don't know who will use it." Uh, I wish he would have been here after 130 years to see who all are using it. So I will take you quickly through a little bit of history, and then we will talk about future, that what 5G can do and how India can embrace 5G. What I want to tell you, that all the great people who are in telecom, all of them have beard. Mine is not white, but theirs is white. So one is Antonio Meucci, who actually invented mobile phone in 1849. And Graham Bell actually got it patented in 1876, and that is why your prof was talking about he has got 3 patents. I was inspired by this because if you don't patent, nobody knows your name. So Antonio and Charles, who invented it before them in France and Italy, they are not known, but Graham Bell is. And then this phone transitioned to what we call as the fixed line phone or the wireline phone. And from wireline, we went to wireless phones, the mobile phones which you use. And the person you are seeing, he is not a model. His name is Martin Cooper. He was part of Motorola, and in 1973, he invented the first mobile phone, the mobile phone which he's carrying in his hand. That was the first mobile phone, and you can see the size of that mobile phone. And since then, you would have seen how the weight of the mobile phone has reduced, and we moved into smartphones, and the screen size has started increasing. This is what the evolution of mobile phones has been. But unfortunately, all this what we saw, this is not telecom. When we are talking about 5G, we are talking about telecom. So whatever mobile devices you saw, that is not telecom. Telecom sector is basically a group of companies which make communication possible. And communication can happen using phone, internet, airwaves, cables, through wires or wireless. So keep this definition in mind, that internet is also telecom, cable TV is also telecom, phone is also telecom, hand phone is also telecom, and your mobile phone is also telecom. Now, communication, taking you to the little bit of history, how communication used to happen. This is how communication used to happen. The first person who ran the marathon, 42 kilometers, and after running that marathon, this poor person actually died. And now we run a lot of marathons. But point here is, he had to communicate a message of victory in a war. So human race has been trying to do communication, say, for ages. So first they were using humans, and then from humans, they actually moved to this Kabutar ja ja ja. Acha, if you don't like Indian examples, then basically you would have seen Game of Thrones. Ravens, ravens. So that is how human beings used to communicate. And then came telegram. Not this telegram. It was Babuji ka taar aaya hai, that wala telegram. So in 1844, first time the Morse code was invented, and after that telegram was popular. And you would have seen since 1980, means till 1980, 1980 and 1990s, telegram was very popular. And then the first company in telecom actually got installed. Now, I don't know how will you tell me the name of the company. So if you are not able to tell me the name of the company, I will tell you which is the company which actually started in 1885. And this company is existing till now. The name of the company is AT&T, American Telegraph and Telephone Company. And this is one of the largest and the oldest and are a very respectable name in the telecom domain. So initially when we started, it was like fixed line communication. मेरे पिया गए रंगून वहां से किया telephone. So you would have seen those dialer phones. And from there we have come to माँ का phone आया, which is mobile phone. So you have seen fixed line communication and mobile communication. And let's come to what we are here for. What is 1G? What is 5G? And one thing you can see is that between generations, what has changed? So 1G, you were actually doing phone calls. That is what 1G was for. And the speed required for phone calls is 2.4 kbps. With this, phone calls can happen properly. Then came 2G. In 2G, what you were getting was phone call and SMS. That is the difference between 1G and 2G. And then came 3G. 3G, the major advantage of 3G was that the speed increased from 64 kilobits per second to 2 megabits per second, which is like 30 times more than the 2G speed. And what you are getting with 3G is the smartphone. People started putting smartphones. When I used to look at my initial smartphones, and I used to think, what will I do with whatever they are coming, except for looking at email? So BlackBerry was very popular, which was somewhere between 2.2G and 3G, and that is called 2.5G, where you started actually looking at emails, and that is where that you are seeing the internet icon. So 3G came with internet. You can actually search Google and search other applications. That was 3G. 3G to 4G, it was a major shift. Major shift. One is like if you put a tower for 2G, uh, you put one tower, it covers 5 kilometer radius. You put 4G tower, it covers half a kilometer radius. So if 4G has to match with 2G, you actually have to put 10 times more towers in the entire area to cover the same area which 2G was covering with the limited number of towers. Another thing, the speed increased to 50 times of whatever 3G was. And how did it increase? It increased because earlier we were using, say, infrastructure. So you would have seen, oh, एक switch से दूसरे switch, like from one switch to another switch, there were data entry operators who used to, okay, I am connecting your trunk call, putting your call from here to there. So we were using copper fiber. Here, what happened was we said this entire thing is going to be electronic. So from electronics and communication, the entire thing moved to computer science in terms of education or in terms of technology. It is more based on IP addresses. So now with the speed and IP based technology, you can actually do video calling, you can do text, you can do internet, email, phone call, and you have seen all that, whatever is happening. Now, what is 5G? So 5G, technology wise, 4G, 5G is not much different. 5G uses small cells. And like in each and every house, the way you have put in Wi-Fi's, so it actually creates a Wi-Fi zone. I'm talking in layman's language, don't uh, catch my tongue for that. So you put a lot of small cells so that coverage is even more better and speeds are better. So 4G to 5G speeds are going to be 10 times better. So you will start getting 1 gigabits per second. And the kind of things which it is going to enable is, one is Internet of Things, that will become reality. Second is battery charging. You would have seen some phones saying that you can do wireless charging, like you can put it on a pad and things like that. Apple does that, Samsung does that. Your high-speed internet, ultra HD videos, and of course your voice and messaging. And you can see that how much bandwidth actually voice consumes. Voice doesn't consume much. So now you understand what 5G is all about. I hope if you have any questions, clarifications, anyone can tell me, then I can. Okay, so you are clapping, so I will take that as कि सबको समझ में आ गया. Okay, so you want me to slow down? Anything you want me to repeat, or okay, fine. So moving on to understanding telecom, since we have to talk about India embracing telecom. How much area? One cell of 5G. 5G cell is very small, so it doesn't require that much area, so to say. So it can be installed um, anywhere. It takes lesser space than what your Wi-Fi takes. So just to give you a sense of how big is telecom. So if you see, telecom as of now has somewhere around 1.8 million subscribers. Not 1.8 million subscribers. It is 1.18 1.18 billion subscribers. So what are we talking about? 1.18 crore subscribers. I'm messing up numbers. It is 1172 million, which is 117 crores. As of now, it is 118 crores. So you can take that as a number. Then, like how many wireless subscribers? Most of these are wireless subscribers, and wireline subscribers are much lesser. Overall, this industry makes somewhere around 63,000 crores every quarter. So that is the extent of money which this industry generates. And although we have say 118 crore subscribers, the people who are using internet are only 700 million. And average a person spends somewhere around 80 rupees on the telecom services. And recently, people have started using 10 GB data per month. That is the consumption of an average Indian user. Now, when we are talking about that, okay, we are 1.18 billion in India, and how much is the population? It is 1.4 billion around. So basically, you are somewhere at around 87% of coverage. So is this teledensity good or bad? Is this good or bad? Anshika, 87% is good. Vinayak is saying fine. So that's great.
Yes, sir.
Actually, if you see the rural and urban market share, then you will realize that in urban areas, people have 1.5 phone per person, and in rural areas, it is 50%. And someone was talking about that still we don't have coverage in a lot of places. So that is one of the reasons. Like in past 5 years, what I see is more than 70,000 places, 70,000 villages which were not having internet uh, or even phone service available. Those people have also got the internet and phone services available in the villages. Still, there are 1% villages in the entire country which don't have this kind of infrastructure where they can call from. Now, urban teledensity, you would have seen this guy. This guy is from which movie? You guys know from which movie. Fine. So, you would have seen that. Thank you for that, Uri. This guy used to break the phone after every call. And that is what urban people are doing. That is why teledensity is 1.5. And what is the impact of teledensity? Just look at this man. Um, this is from the coastal area of Odisha. So I was traveling from Bhubaneswar to Calcutta, and I saw a beautiful Ganesha idol. And I stopped the car and I said, "How much this idol is for?" This guy said 10,000 bucks. They asked him, "Will you give it for 5,000 bucks?" And this was a uh, stone idol of Lord Ganesha. So we negotiated and we agreed for 7,000 bucks. And I got that idol for 7,000 bucks, but I was not having 7,000 bucks. So I told him, "Sorry, I will not be able to take it." He said, "You take the idol and um, after that, you send the money afterwards." So I took the idol and I sent him money afterwards. And after a year, I was here in Mumbai and I was going, I was in Bandra looking at some of the places which keep these kind of idols. I saw the same idol. And out of curiosity, I went there and I asked, uh, "How much is this idol for?" So this guy told me, "Sir, this is for 30,000 rupees." And that was the first time I felt sorry for this man, that why did I negotiate with this person? And you know, worse is yet to come. After a year, I was in Delhi, and in that posh area of Delhi where most of your Connaught Place, where most of your foreigners come, I again saw this idol in one of the shops. And again, I went there and asked the price for this idol. The guy told me 1,20,000 bucks. And how much is this guy getting? 7,000 bucks. That too, when I was negotiating, when these guys are negotiating, you can understand how much. And this guy is spending more than 2 to 3 months in carving out one idol, taking a stone, all that hard work. You know what this telecom revolution has done to these people? Now they can sell their own idols on the platform themselves. So you don't have to cry. This was an old story. Now it is a happy story for them. They can actually get the right price of their idols based on the e-commerce infrastructure we have created in past 5 years as a country. Now, this is the social impact which till now 4G has created. Now, if we are talking about embracing 5G, so first is we have to understand what is that 5G can do. So I will talk about possibilities, and it might look like, okay, this is some futuristic movie. Actually, it is not futuristic movie. It is taken from futuristic movies, so it will of course look like futuristic movie. So till 2015, India used to consume 20 crore GB a month. 20 crore GB a month, entire India. And can you guess how much India consumes as of now in terms of data? We were ranked 155th in the world in the list of countries in terms of consumption. As of now, from 20 crore GB, we consume 500 crore GB. And this is last 5 years. 500 crore GB per month, and we are growing at a constant speed. And that is why there is a need for 5G, because now people want more speed. Coverage is another problem which we already discussed, that there is a rural and urban divide, and more and more people are working towards going to villages and making sure that entire country is at the same platform. Now, one of the things is safety and sustainability, where they can actually use 5G. So you would have seen Uri, and this is another example of Uri, where these guys actually communicated through communication devices without even speaking. 45 minutes of this movie was without even a single dialogue, and it was so engaging. And you would have seen a bird also flying, transmitting data from there to the headquarters. So that is one of the applications which is there. Second is you can predict natural disasters based on how sensors are behaving, and you get real-time information from the natural disaster cell beforehand. So whether it is a tsunami, whether it is any kind of storm which is coming, whether it is earthquake, so we will be much more prepared in terms of natural disasters. Another thing is you can have a smart electricity grid so that carbon emission can be much, much lower. That is what 5G can enable. Another thing which is a possibility, and you must be thinking, oh, this guy is going to talk about self-driven cars. This is not self-driven cars. This is connected vehicles. So when vehicles are connected, what happens is if they are going to collide, your vehicles will know that, okay, the other vehicle is coming, and they will be able to stop at the safe distance and things like that. So that is another possibility which actually 5G enables. So lesser number of accidents. In terms of efficiency, if you see industry has not been using connectivity as of now to the extent they should have been using. If you see in terms of automation, US is the most automated, and when we say most automated, it is only 38% of the industry is automated. And among the top 4 countries, Japan is at 21% automation. So you can understand what is the status of rest of the other countries. And automation in various sectors actually can happen in the industry. I will start with the agriculture. This is what you can actually see happening in agriculture. So drones and everything with 5G, they will be much better, and people are attempting courier services and things like that, and pesticides and all the other things which you do while doing mass crop or mass agriculture. Agriculture is becoming a very hot field because of this development, because of this ecosystem development. Another is like right now we are doing this meeting where I can see some faces. We can actually sit in an auditorium in a hologram. So auditorium is like is still with 5G also it will not be that great, but for sure you will be able to do the meetings, small meetings together as holograms, and you will be able to see some of your projects in this particular manner where one person is sharing. So right now whatever I'm doing, you can have more immersive experience of that, and you can actually touch that experience. So whatever touch phones you are seeing, and you are able to do certain things on them, that you will be able to do uh, on the sensory platforms, and that is how it is going to evolve. Um, Another piece is you're seeing. So Google Glass came and it failed, but development did not stop. These are the So let the 5G come, then we will talk about 6G. But yeah, 6G development has also started. So more than development, it is the deployment which makes the difference. This image which I'm showing is a 2011 image from Boeing. So this is not somebody has just created this image. This is Boeing tried to do some of these applications. This is also the SART tool, which in 2011 Airbus deployed. So in automotive plants, uh, they have similar kind of systems where they can actually look at the entire assembly on the digital platform. All these things, you need more speed, more bandwidth, and that is what 5G is going to provide. I saw a similar kind of deployment of some robots in one of the Thane restaurants, and people went on strike. So there are more human issues, but technology-wise, Asimo Honda has been working on, say, a set of robots since 1980s, and this is also a reality which might happen with 5G. Now, what will happen with 5G? That you will be able to remotely control this robot. That is the uh, 5G version of it, and you would have seen some in some small form. These robots have already started moving. I have a home cleaning robot. iRobot makes those robots. When I first told my wife that we are going to buy a robot, she said, "I will not allow a robot in my house." But when she saw, it's okay. This is not a humanoid. This is like a small uh, disk which is moving around. So, and now our maid is also supervisor of that robot. She was thinking her job will go, but it did not go. Another thing which is going to happen, you would have already seen that because of COVID, a lot of doctors have started consulting. With 5G, some doctors may participate in surgeries also, looking at what is happening inside your body and looking at the data real time. So uh, this is also one possibility. Uh, this is the image is from Microsoft HoloLens. All these technologies are there, but they are waiting for their right time to come. Education. This is one of our biggest problems, that remotely we are not able to educate people. uh, in the villages, and uh, with 5G coming in, uh, and this is also something um, which will get further improved. And of course, smart cities are going to be there. So government is also building smart cities where public safety, Internet of Things, traffic management, education, smart street lights, air pollution, all these things are taken care of. You would have seen some of these traces of some of these things in the real life, which is happening around you. Third thing which this 5G is going to do is it is going to create experience. And that is the best part of it. Um, so you would have seen e-commerce. Now, transaction to trial. E-commerce is right now doing transactions. And one good thing which I saw, it was there on IKEA site, and my wife was very happy about it. And then she forced me to put that picture in the presentation. That is, on the IKEA side, you can actually see how a particular thing looks in your house. Now, all these kind of things. One is technology is there. Second is technology and bandwidth. These are the kind of, these two go hand in hand. And that is why technology market is going haywire as of now in terms of jobs and salaries and everything. Uh, so virtual tours, not only test drives. So JLR has also has experimented with the test drives. But if you want to buy a house somewhere else in other city, you want to take a house tour, you can actually do that. Or if you are thinking of, Acha, I have to take admission in the college, you can actually do the tour of the college and things like that. As of now, those 3D experiences are there, but they're difficult to roam around, but you can see things. Uh, 5G is going to make those things relatively simpler, and experience is going to be much, much better. And maybe after some time, you don't have to wear wearables also. Virtual tourism. What people are saying is tourism will go down because you can actually uh, experience that entire feel of a particular place, and you don't have to travel to, say, Turkey or Rome for experiencing whatever has been created. So, in fact, what these guys say is Thomas Cook has been using it in a different manner. They say you first try it before you fly. So if you don't like it, then you don't come to the place. So this way they are trying to increase tourism for their business, and especially for the places you can't visit. You want to run with cheetahs, you can actually run with cheetahs. Uh, that is the that is where things will move forward. In terms of industry experience, you can actually give practical training of people doing risky jobs, going into mines, and uh, how to do things and what to do about. So a lot of training programs are also going to uh, shift on this platform. And of course, this is big. Uh, Playing in the virtual world, taking avatars, and uh, this experience is going to be much, much, much better. That is what the beauty of this whole thing is. So gamers will love 5G for sure. My son plays a lot, uh, and I can see with 4G itself the kind of connectivity he gets. So 5G is going to be much, much better for. Now coming to the final part of presentation, that if India has to make it work, like having this technology, we have this technology for years. And the time you're seeing James Bond movies, somebody has conceptualized, and somebody has been working on it. There are 5 elements which will actually help us in embracing this. And I will tell you short stories for each and everything. Learning, infrastructure, need, simplicity, and economics. These are the 5 things. If you have to remember this, the acronym is LINES. Learning, infra, need, economics, and simplification. Learning is not a problem. Why learning is not a problem? Sugata Mitra proved this in 1999 by creating a hole in the wall. In a slum area, he installed 2 computers, and the kids in the slum area who were not even educated, they went to computers out of curiosity, and they learned how to operate computers. And in fact, you would have seen your grandmother or grandfather working on tablets or mobile phones, or the kids who are just born operating laptops at a very early stage at which you started using it. So learning is not that big a problem. Infrastructure. As you guys researched on me and told me that I have written a book. So when I wrote this book, a friend called me, he said, "Congratulations." I said, "Thank you." He said, "But I will not read your book." I said, "Why will you not read my book?" He said, "Because your book is on Kindle and I don't have Kindle." And I told him, "Boss, for reading a Kindle book, you don't have to buy a Kindle. You can actually read it on your phone." People think infrastructure is the issue, but actually it is not an infrastructure issue, it is a mindset issue. More and more companies are investing in infrastructure. Thing is, the way market is growing, more and more infrastructure is getting created to cater to it. And if you see capacity wise, as I told you, people envisaged when we were at 20 crore GB a month, at that point in time, people were asked to say state out the capacity at which India will be operating. So people said South Korea is the highest, that is 32 crore GB a month. So India will be somewhere around 30 crore GB. Within 1 year of that statement, India was at 200 crore GB per month, and right now it is at 500 crore GB per month. Thing is, how fast you can create capacity, it will depend upon that. So infrastructure, of course, is going to help, but it is more of mindset than infrastructure. You would have seen this professor for his pension. So I also met a similar professor. He was at around 65 years of age. Yeah, it is Munna Bhai. So his name is Prasad. So what these guys have to do is they have to go to the pension office, and every year they have to declare that I am alive, then only they get pension. So I asked this guy, he was saying because of COVID, I am like very tense because I will not be able to go there. And if I am not able to go there, they will stop my pension. How will I live? So I said, not a problem. I will call the pension guy. I called the pension office. I told him, look, this is what the problem is. He said, sir, no problem at all. He doesn't need to come. You do a WhatsApp call and I will verify based on WhatsApp call that he is alive and his pension will come. So I told that to Prasad. Prasad, a good news. I thought Prasad would be happy. He was so upset. He said, if this was possible, then why he made me run around for 7 years to his office? WhatsApp was available then also. Thing is, lot of technology is available, but we use it when the need arises. So Paytm also, the technology was available. We started using it when the need was created. So for India to embrace it, need is something which is very, very important, that you have to create the need for usage of technology. Simplification. So computers are around, say for like in 1940s, if you would have been interested in that entire uh, Second World War period. In Second World War period, they created the first computer to, I would not say first computer, and they created a machine to break Nazi codes. And that's how the entire computer journey started. And from then, it took us somewhere around 50 to 60 years to come to a level where people can start using it. And people were able to use it because of this guy, whose face you are not able to see, because I wanted to tell you, it is the graphic user interface which makes the difference. It was Bill Gates who created Microsoft in such a manner, because, and people loved it, and this became a household name. People actually first time were able to know कि अच्छा Fortran के अलावा भी कुछ कर सकते हैं. First time I saw computer in my life in IIT Roorkee Computer Lab Mechanical. And I wanted to do something on computer. It was a black screen, and all I could do was, okay, write few commands. I said, what computer? What is the use of this computer? But now each and everyone knows what is the use of the computer. You can use it for n number of things. Your phone is a computer, is more than a computer, and you are using it. So this simplification, moment we simplify things, then people use it. So we will have to simplify things for people to make use of it. And last one is economics. So I was traveling in an aircraft. This is long back. One of the low cost flyers. Uh, so I was going to one of the programs, and my air hostess came and she asked me, "Are you single?" And I was shell shocked. I said, "No, I am married." She said, "No, no, I don't mean that. Uh, I mean to say, are you alone?" I said, "Yes." So she said, "Can you sit at the emergency row? Because we can't leave it open." The aircraft was full. So I sat on the emergency window. The point I'm trying to make here is that India is a very cost sensitive economy. हमको सब कुछ सस्ता वाला चाहिए. So until unless economics doesn't work, we will not pay, say, 200 rupees extra to get the extra legroom also. A plane full of 200 passengers, nobody bothered to take that row. So until unless whatever we talked about, it doesn't make economic sense, it is not affordable, people are not going to use it. So when we are uh, talking about how we are going to embrace it, it is lines. As of now, this is the last slide. As of now, telecom sector contributes to 6.5% of GDP and employs somewhere around 4 million people directly and indirectly. And with this, I will stop here. And I saw a question, demerits of 5G. So the thing is, you can see merit and demerit in each and everything. It depends upon how you want to use things to your advantage. Anything which is there. So it is basically improving the speed of communication. How you want to use it is totally up to you. Nuclear energy is there. You can use it to create power. You can use it to destroy planets. So it is totally up to the humanity how we want to use whatever technology that is available.
So
Somebody-
we received one question on WhatsApp group. That's like, if there's so much revenue in telecom sector, then why it is in so much debt?
Look, that is it will take more than 5 minutes to explain. Okay, let me attempt it. What happens is, whatever revenue you are generating, you have to pay some fee to the government, and actually, not let's not start from there. Let's understand. This is an infrastructure industry. Fine. So how you work on an infrastructure project is you build something and then you charge money over a long period of time. Just you would have seen somebody creates a highway and then puts a toll naka for collecting money, right? It is a similar kind of thing. So will you take debt to make the highway? Yes, you will have to take the debt because you can't do this entire thing with equity. Because that is how you leverage. That is the basic business economics. Fine. And why you heard it in the news? You heard it in the news because part of revenue telecom organizations have to give to the government as part of a spectrum fee. So there has been some disputes with the government for the like telecom operators, and government had some disputes on how much they need to pay to the government, and because of that it gets highlighted. Otherwise it is it is a business model that you invest first and then make money on that infrastructure. It is a infrastructure because without infrastructure you can't give the service, and that too for this cheap. Somebody was saying that 5G 4G is very costly, and like we are the cheapest in the world as of now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I see a lot of questions coming on the screen. I will stop sharing this.
Anshika, can you take the questions one by one?
Yes, sir, I can take the questions for you. So, first is from Ankit Babu. How 5G thing will exactly affect the virtual reality experience, and by how much time can we expect it from common people?
Look, it is right now available for common people. As I told you, one is, do people know about it? Is there a need? So again, that same lines philosophy. In fact, the whole presentation was about virtual reality only. There are many things. As of now, virtual reality, augmented reality, and extended reality. These are the three things which most of the people are actually using on a day-to-day basis. Like you would have used at least once Google Lens or Google Translator. So basically, Google Lens, you point at something which is written, it translates and tells you what it means. If you go to any other country, it helps you in reading the things in your own language. Now, this is augmented reality, and when you talk about say virtual reality, all this gaming world which is going on, this is virtual reality. Like you go in as a character and you start playing all those games where so most of the games which I have seen are like you're fighting and you are on a mission as a commando or something like that. And those are those kind of games, but you can create any kinds of games in terms of virtual reality. Your training programs are happening in virtual reality world. Um, so this entire piece we talked about is virtual reality only. This is augmented reality. So you augment reality. In fact, there are apps which come, you go in a store, you point at the section of the store, it shows you, okay, 20% discount here, this section here. So actually you can see a lot of things on your phone itself. That is augmented reality. Now, this piece which we are talking about, this is augmented reality. You can actually try a dress before you buy it. Now, it is not that everyone is using it because there was no need. People were coming to the store, people were trying it out. Now, because of COVID, people were not buying clothes that much, so not everyone has developed it. But this is how a dress is going to look on me. That is the basic fundamental. Uh, in fact, when you look at some of these applications, this is augmented reality. I hope I clarified. Finally, everything comes to lines. Learning, infrastructure, need, simplification, and economics. So by when, all these factors are going to decide. So 5G is going to provide the infrastructure. Whether need is there or not, that people will have to decide.
Yes, sir. Another question is from many people: is 5G affect nature?
So it depends upon in what way. Anything you do affects nature. If you're saying that, okay, is it safe? Of course, it is safe. It is the radiation level you have to look at, that how much radiation level is the maximum limit. You have to ensure that your radiation level is lesser than the prescribed limit. So if your radiation level is lesser than the prescribed limit, then it is not going to help. Then it is not going to hurt. Otherwise, it will hurt. So most of the companies work under that limit and make sure that it is safe for the people who are using it. And somebody wrote about birds also. So industry is becoming more and more careful about the environment and about the, what do we call that? The environment, the birds, the animals, and making sure that the radiation of that kind doesn't affect the population. In fact, you would have seen when you were in the lockdown, there are a lot many birds which were coming at your windows. And why they were coming at your windows? Even when you were using more of, say, mm, connectivity or 4G devices. So the birds were getting affected more from the other environmental factors. The way we live, we will have to move towards sustainable living. And moment we move towards sustainable living, everything around us will improve. So I will stop there.
So next question is from Jatin. Will government build infrastructure for 5G or Jio will build?
Look, it is not that government builds anything, or it is not that Jio is going to build the entire industry. So when you look at, there are players like Ericsson which actually do research and come up with certain things that okay, this is how this entire thing is going to move forward. Somebody will have to invest, somebody will have to give permissions. So government gives permissions that what is okay for people, what is not okay for people, what can be done, what cannot be done. There are industries like if automotive industry wants to use these kind of applications, they will invest in those kind of applications and they will say, I need 5G bandwidth for this. So it has to be a business case which will get driven based on demands. So that need and demand is something which comes from people, and that is how the entire ecosystem works. So it is not that one person or one company or one entity creates the whole thing. It is a collaborative effort, and many people come together to actually make it happen.
Okay, sir. Next question is from Roshan. What can be the biggest threat for telecom companies which are interested in implementing 5G?
Look, what can happen is what happened with 3G. People invested in infrastructure, and after investing in infrastructure, they did not get return on investment. And that was one of the reasons for your very first question, why there is so much debt. Because soon after 3G, 4G came, all the infrastructure which you created for 3G, you were not able to utilize that infrastructure and get the cost out of it. Like you were not able to, whatever investment you made, you were not able to make enough money to take care of that investment. So if you invest too much in 5G and then 6G comes, or another disruption happens, which no one knows whether it will happen, it will not happen. If another disruption happens, then whatever investment you have made, there will be question marks on that what will happen to that investment. So that is one threat which any infrastructure industry faces at any point in time. You create a road and somebody creates a bypass, so then you are sorted. Porter 5 forces model. Remember that, you will understand the problems which this industry faces.
Thank you, sir. We have covered all the questions. Now I want to conclude the session. Thank you, sir, for such an overwhelming lecture. Our session was a huge success, all thanks to your enlightening words that inspired so many people out there. Our team is very grateful to you for taking time from your busy schedule to be the guest speaker at our session. Also, I am very thankful for Professor Ajanta Goswami for joining us and all the participants for patiently listening to this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. In fact, as I said, I have a book called Nothing About Business. In case this is all about micro stories, the small stories which I was talking about. In case you are interested in reading that, I have posted the link in the chat.
Awesome.
So thank you guys for taking time out on Sunday especially the professor. I've seen students doing lot of things, even on Sundays, but the professor especially taking out time on a Sunday. Uh, that is remarkable. So
Thank you, sir. Actually, we are so happy that you gave us a little bit of time, and the way you explained everything, it was so nice and so actually we can see the fun part in your personality also. You made it very entertaining. So we would love to have you live sometime, means in campus actually. So let's see how it goes on. So thanks a lot.
thank you
So,
guys.
can we take a snapshot for our social media?
Yeah, sure, please. And Anshika, sorry for that initial incident. It was a made-up story, guys.
But that was nice.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Kant, please save the recording, and I guess now we can end the session for everyone.